Be careful, Charles.
Okay.
Pull your muffler around your neck, Charles.
Okay.
Hi, so I know. Of all the things about film I could talk about, I'm going to talk about the size and shape of the frame. But well, trust me, it's kind of interesting and you might actually learn a thing or two you didn't know before. Okay, so first off, what is aspect ratio? It's quite simple actually. It's just the ratio of length to height in a frame. It can look like this, or like this. And all it does is change the size and shape of the picture you're watching. It's usually written in a ratio like 16:9, or it can be written like this, 1.77 to 1. So if we had 16 inches by 9 inches, it would be the same shape as 1.77 inches to 1 inch. Hopefully that makes it a bit more simple. Well, filmmakers have a variety of aspect ratios to choose from, and while we usually don't even notice them most of the time, they have a large impact on how we see and feel about the film. There are three main ratios that you should know about. The original 4:3 Academy ratio, the common 1.85 close to 16:9 aspect ratio, which you might know from your monitor/TV size because it's the same as 1080p HD, and the ultra widescreen 2.35 ratio. Well, if I had to put it simply, it would be like this. This is 4:3. This is 1.85. And this is 2.35. Well, here it is. Different aspect ratios have different effects on you. When you look at a picture that's 4:3, you're probably reminiscent of an older time period, or at least something that's not modern. For example, in the film A Serious Man, the Coen brothers choose to portray the first scene in an older time period, which coincides with the time that a 4:3 aspect ratio may have been used.
What?
Ja, jetzt mich hast du helfen mit Neis? Ich warte schon mit etliche Stunde zurück.
And then once the scene ends, it goes on to use a more modern 1.5 aspect ratio. That might not even be noticeable when you watch the film, but it sells it subconsciously so that you can focus mainly on the story.
Oleg Abaito. Ani Olechet Abaito.
Wes Anderson also uses this technique in his film, The Grand Budapest Hotel, which tells a story by an elderly man about his childhood bellhop days. It uses three different aspect ratios for the different time periods within his story. Each of these help the audience divert their attention to a different time in each of the characters' lives. The film goes from 1.85 to 2.35 to 4:3 and back in reverse order towards the end. All of these changes help the film tell its story.
The incidents that follow were described to me exactly as I present them here, and in a wholly unexpected way.
However, ultra-widescreen formats like 2.35 are used in epics that are not only used to enhance the story, but to set a mood and give an experience for the audience. Movies like Ben-Hur were shot in 70mm at a huge 2.76 aspect ratio, making the arena that the chariot race took place in look even bigger, a kind of larger-than-life feeling that's so close it feels like you're actually there. This is actually a variant of the IMAX system that's so popular right now. IMAX uses a 70mm sensor, like how a lot of the old epics films are shot on, though these days it's all digital. IMAX is so large in fact that the aspect ratio for most IMAX films are decreased to about half the size. This is great for filmmakers because it allows for the ability to reframe the image slightly. Filmmakers such as Christopher Nolan used this technique in his films, most notably in Interstellar, where each scene of outer space fills the entire frame when an IMAX camera is used. Where the frame changes aspect ratio making it fill the entire frame, this technique literally lets space engulf the entire film, making it even more epic, and gives the audience an even bigger sense of astonishment. So as you might be able to tell, the frame is quite an important aspect of any film, whether it's made in the 20s at 4:3 or today in a huge 2.35 format. The film will utilise its frame to tell you a story in a way that only cinema can tell, so please, next time you watch a film, please don't judge it by its size. My name is James Hayes, and thank you for watching.